tell you of one honest, quite honest scientist, and then I'm going to end off this evening. A guy named Carrie Emanuel, who is a climatologist at MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, a very prestigious university in Boston. In the 1980s, Emanuel began arguing that as the Earth warmed, that would heat the Atlantic and feed hurricanes. He coined the term supercane. You know, perhaps, if you watch the Weather Network, that there are 5 scales of hurricane. 5 being the strongest, most intense. At one point, Emanuel suggested that we might need to go to 7, because as the Earth heated up and the ocean heated up and the water became more powerful and it made these more intense storms, they would exceed anything we'd ever seen. Last week, he made modifications to his supercomputer climate model. We now have many more years of very detailed study of hurricanes that have occurred. He was then able to add in much more data to his models, and what he found was that even if the temperature increases by the maximum that the UN has warned it will, that will have very little, if any, impact on the number or strength of hurricanes. This is a very significant announcement, because Carrie Emanuel has been for nearly 20 years one of the primary advocates of the global warming theory. And now, although he says there's still much we don't understand, and it could be that humans are affecting hurricane strength and intensity and frequency, he is now saying, I'm prepared to admit that our early models were too unsophisticated, and as a result, there may not be a hurricane global warming connection. There's an awful lot of that kind of material out there. One of the reasons that global warming is now being called climate change is because it's very convenient. Now, if it's climate change, you don't have to prove it's warming. Anything unusual. It's too hot, it's too cold, it's too dry, it's too wet. You know, there's too much rain, there's not enough rain. They have a lot of snow in Ottawa. A lot of snow in Ottawa. It could be climate change. Be scared of that. You know, 5 years ago, people were saying, well, we know the climate's changing because there's no snow like there used to be. Now there's snow like there used to be. And they say, oh, the climate's changing. I don't know. It's very scary. My mother, who was never from a farm background, my family's been in Saskatchewan since the 1870s. I was the first member of my family to be born in the First War. I was born in Alberta. My family's been in Saskatchewan since the 1870s, and never farmers. We were implement dealers, insurance brokers. We were all the people that farmers thought were ripping them off. But my mother always said, farmers are never satisfied with anything. Still true. It's either raining too much or raining too little, or the frost came too early or it came too late, or there's no pleasing the farmer. Well, farmers have been surpassed by environmentalists, because now whenever anything goes wrong anywhere in the world, some guy from CNN standing there in hip waders going, this is really bad because it's like climate change and I don't know, it's just bad. Really awful. There is way too much certainty in the name of global warming, environmentalism, and climate change. The thing that I think people need to keep in mind, I'm absolutely convinced that we're going to find out in 5 or 10 years that this was like Y2K. It was a concern about nothing. We were afraid of something that never came about. But even if you can't buy into that with me, I think the thing to take away is that the science is far from settled. And before public policymakers start reordering our lifestyles and our economies, we need to have way more proof that there's a problem out there. Thank you very much.